Hey, welcome to my channel. My name's Connor. I just want to get started right off the bat with saying this channel is trying to be honest with conspiracy theories and just having fun with them. I don't think conspiracy theories need to be so serious as they are. Um, I mean, they're fun, and there are a lot of conspiracy theories that I personally enjoy, so that's what I want to talk about on this channel. I guess a disclaimer is I'm pretty new to this, so my videos might suck at first, but I guess that's kind of part of the process. So um, that's just something I wanted to get out of the way. I'll try my best and I'll try to improve. If you have recommendations, just leave them in the comments. And as long as they're constructive criticism, not just being a dick, I guess the best way to put it. I guess in this first video, I kind of wanted to put my opinion, I suppose, out there about George Bush. Not George, I am George H.W. Bush. Um, or, President Bush doing 9/11. And, uh, I guess my opinion is pretty basic. I do lean towards the fact that he didn't do it, not to get too controversial, but I am open to both sides. I understand both sides of the argument. It is pretty suspicious. I'm not gonna lie. It it's very suspicious. But I'm just gonna get to my point of view and list some basic facts that I go to when talking about this conspiracy theory because I think personally, I just think I just like I just lean towards the one because I find that a lot of the theories with Bush doing 9/11, I think that a lot of it's just stretching. Like maybe someone misspoke, like one someone did, and then about the plane being shot down. I think it was an advisor, and obviously everyone went at it as you do. Which I'm not saying that's not the best thing to do, but I can understand why people jumped on it. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna get to some of my points. I do have it on my computer, some of my points. So I guess I'll just name the claim, and I'll just put my rebuttal or fact out there. So I guess the first one would be the fact that a lot of conspiracy theorists say that uh, like plane engine fuel and stuff can't melt steel beams, and that would mean that you need a controlled demolition for the towers to collapse. And like just the thing with that though is that yes, hypothetically, when you would just put jet fuel like on fire with 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 steel, then yeah, of course, it would not melt. But when you have a plane going at a high speed, going towards the tower, and then it impacts it weakening its structure alone, and then the fuel that he added to it on top of the impact, weakening it, would cause the towers to collapse on top of all the pressure that are on those beams. And yes, I understand a lot of people claim that those beams are designed to withstand an impact from a plane, but I don't think. And yeah, I think that they did for like an hour, but for a long period of time with no reconstruction or at least minor repairs done at the spot, which obviously wouldn't be possible, it's gonna collapse, you know. So I think the first point with like the beams and stuff and the jet fuel melting the beams, it's just not that strong of a claim, in my opinion, I suppose. But if you have a rebuttal, please put it in the comments because maybe I'll just make another video explaining why there is some truth to this theory. So the second conspiracy, like or the theory about this 9/11, Bush to 9/11, or another part of it, is he needed a reason to go into the war, and so President Bush actually did him and Congress ordered a report on 9/11 and the consensus. I cannot conclusion, we'll just say. Sure, sure, right. Um, and what they found was no evidence linking it. Now, obviously, the government could just be lying. Obviously, the government does that. It does. You can't trust the government. But just going with that, and even just from a logical standpoint, there could be a better way to get into a war. Um, there was a lot of things going on in the Middle East in the 90s and early 2000s, and that we could have used many other examples to get into the war. We did not have to bomb, not, well, yeah, bomb, I guess if we're going with the theory, a tower to get us into that war. It's not like I don't want to believe it, but it's like it's hard to believe it, you know? I think that they could have, if they, why didn't they just frame something over in the Middle East? Just say that some like American embassy was bombed or something. They could have easily done that, and that could have been a great way to get us into the war, not kill like over 3,000 innocent Americans. And then the aftermath and the cost, if they did do it, then they're idiots because they did not have to go through all that to do the fucking bombing, I guess. So, so another conspiracy towards the Bush to 9/11 is that uh, although they may not be directly responsible, they knew about the attacks and and allowed them to happen so that they could go to war. Yeah, so it's kind of like another thing about going into war. And here's the thing with that, like, although yes, America did have intel that a lot of terrorist groups did want to attack on U.S. soil, um, there is no evidence concluding that there was any indication that they did know. And yeah, I know the evidence could be altered or they could just be lying in the report that him, Bush and Congress did get. But I think just I think again going back to the point that there could have been an easier way to do it. You did not have to bomb a building to get us into war with Iran, especially with just the tensions that were already brewing in the Middle East. It could have been done a different way, a much easier and effective way. So to make the claim that they didn't know, but they just let it happen, like it doesn't sound right. It sounds like reaching to me, and that's just another reason why I don't really go with this theory that much. It's not really something I personally believe in. So this one, another point. That is another point. And this, I just repeated that. I'm retarded. So, uh, so another point in this theory is that um, there was holograms that were used as planes to make it perceived that like that it wasn't missiles that hit the buildings, it was planes, but it was actually missiles. And that's like impossible. First of all, hologram technology, I don't even think to this day in 2020 is that developed. Not even that close. I don't know. Like that's not possible. Um, there's no way that technology would have even been around back then to have all of those broadcasted live feeds fooled with a hologram that large and that extensive. It's not possible. It's not. This is a far-reaching one that I wouldn't even hope that someone who did think that Bush did 9/11, I don't even hope that they would think this is a possibility. It's impossible. It's not true. It's just not possible. So moving on to the next point. So the last point I want to get into with this conspiracy theory is that there is extensive insider trading involved with United Airlines and American Airlines, the two airlines that were involved in 9/11, their planes, and they were involved with attacks and defense contractors. And I guess this is a kind of a way to like prove that there was foreknowledge of the attacks. Um, even though going back to the evidence side of points, there's no evidence that there was no such thing as foreknowledge. In fact, the only evidence that there's foreknowledge is from Al Qaeda, the terrorist group. So, um, no, this is another reaching one. Um, the inside trader proves nothing. There was a lot of trade in irregularities happening at the time, anyways. So this is a far-reaching one again. I think a lot of these are reaching. There is no really concrete evidence. I mean, which makes sense. It's a theory, but I think again, this is just one of those theories that doesn't have a concrete base. So there's no place where you can really prove it. Um, like a lot of theories, I guess. Although a lot of theories you can't prove. So I don't even know why I said that. So yeah, this is probably gonna wrap up the video. I wanted to make it short, just kind of get started, I guess. I know my first video is gonna be bad, and just don't hate on it. Don't hate on it. I know it's cringy. It's cringy. Um, but I just wanted to make this video, and I guess if someone does comment and wants to see a rebuttal, or they want me to make a video on the viewpoint from which it is an inside job and when I'm for it, I will totally do that. And that sounds fun because when I was researching this video, I personally was kind of like almost like maybe this was an inside job, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I'm still a little more on the fence about it, but I am leaning towards that it was not an inside job, and just terrorists are just pieces of shit. So that's kind of where I'm going towards. But if you like the video, then please like. I guess I would like it, and subscribe for sure. I want to post more content regularly. I'm not sure how regular. I think probably every Saturday I'll post videos. I'm not making that official though. I don't know. But yeah, if you like it, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next week.